Good afternoon, Musketeers. It's September 23rd, 2016. I'm Paul Fritchner.
And I'm Daniel Bowling. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
This Wednesday, peaceful protests in Charlotte, North Carolina turned sour as violence erupted after the shooting of Keith Lamont Scott. According to police reports, authorities were searching for someone with an outstanding warrant when they saw an African-American male exit his vehicle with a handgun. Scott was then approached by local police. He once again exited his vehicle, this time armed, causing officers to fire their weapons at Scott. Protesters are frustrated with police brutality against black citizens. Many people were looting stores, and at least one CNN reporter was even attacked on live television. According to North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory, Charlotte is currently in a state of emergency.
On Tuesday, just 12 hours after a bomb detonated in a trash can in Seaside Park, New Jersey, another bombing occurred in New York City's Chelsea neighborhood. 29 were injured with no fatalities. NYPD took Ahmad Khan Rahami, a 28-year-old naturalized citizen, into custody. After the bombings, Rahami entered a shootout with police until he was eventually captured and hospitalized. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said that there is every reason to believe that this attack was an act of terrorism, but no evidence points to a terrorist cell operating in the city itself. Rahami is facing up to life in prison for 9 charges, including using weapons of mass destruction and bombing in a public place. United States Attorney General Loretta E. Lynch says that more information will be released to the public when it is known.
The college Democrats and Republicans came together to register voters yesterday in front of the Gallagher Student Center. The clubs encourage students to register in Hamilton County because their votes are more important in a swing state like Ohio. The last day to register to vote is October 11th. The Cincinnati Bell Connector, a new form of public transportation in Cincinnati, has been operational for 2 weeks now. According to Metro, no accidents have been reported since the grand opening weekend earlier this month, and ridership is over 50,000. The connector was particularly popular last weekend, as nearly 30,000 people rode around downtown Cincinnati during the annual Oktoberfest celebration. Tickets are available at ticket vending machines or on the Easy Ride app. The streetcars run in their own street lane, so steer clear to avoid a fine from the city of Cincinnati.
If you're not in the mood for the usual Subway or Corrito on around campus, have no fear. Uber introduced their food delivery service, Uber Eats, to Cincinnati this past Wednesday. The new app allows customers to order food straight from the restaurants to their homes and is available on both Apple and Android devices. The service, which also hit Cleveland on Wednesday, has been around since August of 2014. The app launched in Santa Monica, California, and has been slowly expanding ever since. The app offers selections from over 100 different restaurants around Cincinnati, with options ranging from chain to local. And for a limited time, delivery will be free to all customers around Cincinnati, so grab a bite to eat while you can. And for all you explorers out there, the Center for International Education hosted the Study Abroad Fair yesterday. Students met with faculty leaders and partner programs to find out about various study abroad programs being offered at Xavier. Study abroad options range from 3-week trips to full semester programs. For more information, visit the Center for International Education in the Gallagher Student Center.
The Fall Career Fair, put on by the Career Development Office, will be held this coming Tuesday from 2 to 5 p.m. in the Cintas Center. Full and part-time jobs, as well as internships, will be available for those interested. With hundreds of employers present at the event, this is a great option for Xavier students to get their foot in the door, as well as an opportunity to network with employers.
This upcoming Tuesday, Xavier will also be following up on a lecture series from last year, which included the founders of the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as Laverne Cox. Xavier will welcome acclaimed author Ta-Nehisi Coates to the Cintas Center. Coates, who is national correspondent for the Atlantic magazine, will be giving a talk entitled On Race in America, dealing with the complex and deep-rooted problems surrounding cultural and racial relations. Coates is an award-winning author whose book, Between the World and Me, was a New York Times bestseller and won the 2015 Book Award for Nonfiction. Coates will be speaking on Tuesday at 7 p.m. in the Cintas Center.
Xavier students rejoice. The Gallagher Student Center has recently opened alternative club and study spaces to all students. Many clubs are already taking advantage of the space and hosting events.
Here is really great. There's lots of electrical support, there's a stage, there's projectors, it's very open, lots of seating, and it's a great place to host lots of students.
The space is available to reserve for student club activities and other Xavier-sponsored events. Be on the lookout as the students commence into making the space their own.
And that's all from the news desk, people.
We'll be right back with the third member of our team, Mike Chase, and the Xavier Sports Report.
What's up, Xavier Musketeers? Excited for the weekend? Because I know I am. We have some good stuff on tap today, so stay tuned. I'm Mike Chase, and this is the Xavier Sports Report. On Wednesday, the Indiana Fever of the WNBA were the latest of many professional athletes to publicly protest in lieu of recent events nationwide. All players on the Fever roster knelt and locked arms during the national anthem. The Fever were also joined by 2 Phoenix Mercury players joined in the protest before the game. This was yet another showing of professional athletes standing in solidarity against the violence and turmoil facing the country. Fever player Marissa Coleman said the decision to stand together in protest was unanimous, with full support from Fever coach Stephanie White. The players will continue to use their platform as a means to make a difference. In the most recent national ranking, Xavier women's cross country was ranked 12th as of this past Monday. The Lady Muskies have been ranked 12th now for the second consecutive week. Xavier women's cross country is back in action at the Ohio Invitational, hosted by Cedarville University on September 30th. Senior Sophia Peterson was named the Stacy Clark Classic All-Tournament team last weekend, averaging over 2.5 kills while leading the team in hitting percentage. Xavier women's volleyball hits the road this weekend as they take on both St. John's and Seton Hall to open its Big East schedule. The match against St. John's takes place tonight at 7 p.m. and Seton Hall tomorrow at the same time. League play continues this Saturday for Xavier men's soccer as they travel to take on the Georgetown Hoyas. Coming off the heels of their 1-0 victory against DePaul, the Musketeers are one of 4 teams to start 1-0 in league play. Xavier's sophomore goalkeeper Colin Haley will be looking for his second straight clean sheet for the struggling Hoyas. They won their last contest 1-0 over Providence last Saturday. Xavier's long road trip will then continue Saturday, October 1st at Providence. And despite the violent protests over the recent police shooting this past week, the week 3 clash between the Carolina Panthers and Minnesota Vikings is still taking place this Sunday in uptown Charlotte. Panthers coach Ron Rivera thinks the game will be good for the city and has faith in the city leaders to keep any potential protests under control. The team is in contact with the government official, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, and the NFL. The Panthers are continuing to monitor events in preparation for Sunday's game. Carolina had limited media availability, but linebacker Thomas Davis says, quote, "This game should absolutely be played on Sunday," end quote. That's all I've got for you today, Musketeers. Remember to go out and support all your athletes. From everyone here at the Xavier News, I have a great weekend, and always, let's go X.